What's up, everyone? Welcome to a new crypto update on this beautiful Sunday. And we are talking about Bitcoin, especially again on this crypto update. Now, long time no see when it comes to crypto. Crypto has been very boring over the last couple of weeks. And since we did our last update video, it's still pretty much the same. And obviously, what we said is happening. And we are currently looking at the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin is currently sitting at 66,817,000 US dollars per Bitcoin. We are currently in this selling zone over here. So what we missed over the last couple of days and weeks is basically that we had our top up or top out here at 73,000 of Bitcoin, couldn't make new highs, made another one, but basically we had these three pushes that we have no significant new highs, and that's mostly, if you will go into the past of Bitcoin, you will see that Bitcoin's behavior is kind of always the same in that sense. It does three tops kind of this way, right? So it tops out, it has you can say head shoulder formations or something like this, for example, what people would call it. But it's more like, for me, I always see it when Bitcoin has these three top outs, then it cannot go higher. It also did it in the very last all-time high. And that's a big indicator where I started to sell the last time, is when we see price topping out in three pushes. And I will just go back into that and show you guys over here. So I started to heavily sell last time at 60,000, somewhere over here. And that is because you can see it also here that we have these tops, right? So we had our last top over here at 64, right? And then basically you have this. So you have the high, a slightly new high, then here low again. So this top out over here, right? And that's what happens many times. So that's pretty much where we see, same here, low, head, shoulder, right, high, and then low again. So a top out over here. So these top outs at the end of the day mean that we don't have enough volume to go higher on our current price, right? And that's obviously nothing that only Bitcoin does. I mean, all the markets do that, but especially in Bitcoin, that's something that you need to look out for. So that's one indicator, obviously, that showed us that we will have to go lower before we can go higher again, and that is what is happening, right? So far, what has happened is that we have this top out over here. We started to correct a little bit, and now we started to break basically our first bullish structures, right? So the first bullish structure had our entering price over here at around 62,000. So you see it over here, 62,682. And we reacted over here, couldn't go higher, came back, reacted again, couldn't come higher, and then broke it for the first time. So for the first time, we have a bearish sequence active, which is this red one over here. So we have push down, correction, push down, right? And this over here at the end of the day is also a result where we have another one, for example, which is this bearish structure, which is also active, okay? And this bearish structure actually, which is the primary one, right, is ending over here somewhere in our buying zone, which is at 53,000. Okay, so as you can see, this one over here is our primary bearish sequence. Out of that bearish sequence, we have another sequence resulting, and I just saw that we have to go over here because there's the new high over here, right? So basically resulting here. So that would be correct with the Fibonacci tools. Okay, so the very first sequence over here, which is this bearish one, which was activated over here finally, okay, results in us going to 50,000. And then we have another one, an internal one, which results us going to 40,000. Now we see the first break of our first buying zone over here, which means we have bearish confirmed move. Now out of this bearish move, we had our lowest low so far in the last couple of weeks, since basically our top in March, right? And after the ETF launch, which was 56,000, okay, so 56K. And from there on, we started to build bullish structure again, which we are activating right now. So Bitcoin is in a very difficult situation right now, where we have two bearish, number one, number two, confirmed structures, which lead us Bitcoin going to about 53,000, 50,000. But in that structure, we have another bullish confirmed now. So short term, it seems to be bullish. Long term, it seems to be bearish, and long term, it seems to be bullish, right? Because bullish in general, Bitcoin is a bullish asset, right? It's a trending bullish asset. But in that sense, we are seeing right now again that we are reacting here in the selling zone, which is the valid selling zone. Now what I want to see is a break of structure, right? So I want to see a break of structure where it really breaks this zone over here, so pushes higher and makes another high, right, and breaks, for example, this high, which it already kind of did, but I want to really see a break, and maybe even pushing higher than, you know, A and B basically, so over here, right, over the 73, and finishing the sequence over here. That would reconfirm that we are bullish again, right? Then we look for bullish re-entries. Right now, I'm still looking bearish because we still have mainly bearish confirmed levels and sequences, sequence 1, sequence 2. We are still in a selling zone, in a bearish run. The last one, the first one, we failed, right? And that's also why I'm currently still in a sell. But the problem is that in this sell, which was a beautiful sell in a beautiful bearish structure, which you can see here, we have the high, low, we have a new low coming down, reactivating, basically not reactivating, but reaffirming with activation of price dropping below A. That is an activation of the bearish sequence, which increases our bearish levels on our targets here for C. And the problem is that we then started to build a bullish sequence, right, which is this one. So we have again a quick bought up, then we start to react again, we drop again, and we start to react again in the bullish sequence and go up and reactivate it, right? So right now it's very difficult to say. That's why it's definitely a risky sell. And if you are not in a sell, if you're not in a buy right now, then I would probably not do anything right now. Maybe you can go in with a very low sell because you don't want to miss, for example, if Bitcoin really comes down to the 53 or even to the 44,000, right? Which again, still for me would be the best move, that we finally finish these levels off and then we can really go up. Because if we get all of the buyers in over here, right, then obviously we'll have enough momentum to really push Bitcoin to 80 to 100,000 and really start this bull run finally off in a clean way and not in this very unstable way as we did it so far with all of these events, ETFs and blah blah stuff coming out. So that is still something that we want to see, and it would be important for Bitcoin stability and longevity that we really come down at the end of the day here from this level and really start to correct into these levels over here, either the 53 or even furthermore here to the 44, which just would be more stability. And most people say, but why, Miguel? Why can we not just go up right now? And why should it come down? It's just a stability thing. Price action and price builds through stability. And us offering people a lower price again for people to get in will help us to overcome this problem over here, because this level currently is an insane problem. This level over here, right? I will mark it as red. This quadrant over here is a problem for us right now because we are in a sideways trend, which is kind of a little bit of a flag, right? And this sideways trend at the end of the day is difficult to break, as we can see, because we don't have enough bought up volume. We don't have enough people buying Bitcoin right now because it's already too high, right? There is no reason, and you need to understand that, right? Price and price action at the end of the day is the value of price and what people are able to and ready to, pay for it. And it's just currently too much, and that's why it makes no sense. So we need to see it, at the end of the day, these liquidations, we need to see price come down. If it's the 53 or if it's the 44, means if from now on we correct 20% or we even correct 30%, would be beautiful, because then we have this long-term stability. If we scroll out a little bit here of the chart, we have this long-term stability to really finally finish off the 114, 150,000, which we are lacking to come to. As you can see, there's this period over here where we are already too high to our target, and we need Bitcoin to come back to the stability phase and then come here. It looks beautiful, and that's probably how it's going to happen, and that's what I'm still looking for, and that's what we need for stability. And you will see it the same way it showed over here. For Bitcoin, back in the times, to go from 64, it had to come back 50% and then really come up again, right? Which then we hit our new high, which was 69. Now from the old high, right, to the new high, it was maybe another 4, 5, 6% that it did, right? Let's say 5%, which is not a lot, but it needed it to come back, right? Now, if we really want to see Bitcoin going to 100, so I mean from now on, from the old time to the new one and making 80% more than last time, then we need price to come back down. We need price to come to the $45,000 to really gain this power, because here it's gonna be insanely attractive for a lot of big people to buy in, which will then drive price up, right? Now, if we continue from here, I don't see Bitcoin going to that. I see maybe Bitcoin going to 80,000. And then topping at 80,000, and then we have a big problem for the future. So the big problem is going to be that then there's, that's the new all-time high, and that's it. And then we go into a bearish mode again, probably, right? And people are just going to focus on different assets. People are just going to focus on new assets, right? On other altcoins or on Ethereum, on whatever. And that's going to be a big problem for Bitcoin. So this is really, for me, one of the, and I want to say it's so dramatic, but it's Bitcoin's last chance right now, you know, where we need to see it come down. And then you also obviously see it in the total market volume, which we always take a look at. So this is the total market volume right now. Same build as Bitcoin, basically. Obviously, we have this bearish sequence over here, beautifully activated. We have it correcting right now, right here, which you also see in Bitcoin right now. So it seems that we are going back to the 1.7 trillion, which means would be a lot of liquidation in the market, but it also means we could regain a lot of buyers, right? If we dropped 27% at the end of the day, which is a lot in market cap, but that's something that the price should do before we initiate the bull run, right after the halving. And from there on, we get in new buyers, a lot of new buyers, and we really go up to these, you know, at the end of the day, to our target, which would be 5.6 trillion, right? That would be an X of the market volume. And that's something that is very much doable, right? If we see this correction. So in a short term right now, very difficult to do anything. You can go in a low risk sell. I'm in a low risk sell. And that's what we need to see Bitcoin to do. Now, when it comes to, for example, Ethereum, just to have a little bit of a side or different view, a side view of a different asset in the crypto market, how it's evolving right now, same thing, right? We still need Ethereum to come back to the 2,500 and from there on going to the 8,800, which is our target goal right now for Ethereum. And then just in general, we're probably going to see it at, you know, 10,000 or something. And that's perfect, right? And that's probably what is going to happen. Basically it, right? That's the problem at the end of the day. So we need these markets to come back and recorrect, and that's what you see over here. Also here in Ethereum, we have this bearish sequence activated. It's strongly activated. Actually, we have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, as you can see, it's struggling a little bit here. It's keep getting bought up. It's like a fake hold the line, right? But it's like going down. So there is, for me, there's going to be a big correction coming still, and I hope it to happen, because we still, and also in Ethereum, need to correct the 18% back to the 2,500, as I just said. And we have a lot of confirmation for that. As you can see over here, we have these selling zones, and Ethereum is perfectly reacting to these selling points over and over again. And that is a reconfirmation for our bearish move. So even though it looks bullish right now, it is still very, very bearish in that sense. And as you can see, we are reacting again also over here. So it looks pretty well for me. It's going to come true what we just said, right? Same thing for Solana here. Solana had some good push. I started to rebuy because I didn't want to miss out the move at the end of the day. So for me, Solana still has to come back down here and then go up again. So we are still missing 5 or 6% in that sense. And I just rebought for 10K myself just recently. I'm gonna add more, but I just wanted to be in. I'm currently up 5%. Even if it still comes down to correct, and Solana, it's not a lot, it's 5% different, so I don't care. But in the other markets, Ethereum, Bitcoin, it's still a pretty big, in the other markets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, it's still a pretty big correction, right? And we still have these correction levels open. And as you can see over here, if I go down and I go to the highest price, then this is right now my re-entry over here. This is my re-entry zone, right? And for me to go to the $400 Solana price, right? We need this. We are too close and we are running out of oxygen to really come here, right? We are too high already. So we need to offer this re-entry and come down again, right? Or basically come down to go up again, right? We need these corrections. That's how price builds, right? And some people would say, no, we can just go up. Look at this. You have an up, you have a correction, new people come in, we have a new top. Okay, too high, we need to go lower, so it's more attractive for people to buy. Then people all confirm here as a very attractive buy due to the old showing us that we are going bullish. Then we have a big insane move, right, which is basically this one, and that's a third or fourth cycle, right? So up, down, correction, up, down. Everyone decides, okay, due to the old structure, we are going up. Then we have a big push, right? And then we are kind of somewhere over here where people are undecisive if we are still going to continue go up. But normally we need to this correction to come back here. And from there on, we do the new up, right? And everything in between here is just where people get fooled. And that is what's happening right now, okay? So with that being said, we are seeing a current difficulty for Bitcoin and crypto market in general to continue higher, struggling. So we need these corrections. So I still very much look forward for Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the general crypto market to have corrections, right? With that being said, I added some value into the value channel on Telegram. The link will be below. And I added all the small micro and mini cap coins that I started to buy, all the shit coins that I started to buy, right? Also made a video about that. Also will link it below. Check it out. And if you want free trade ideas, free investment ideas, free business mentorship, and free business mentorship, not only in terms of mindset, but also tips, tricks, and ideas and what I invest into, come into my value channel. It's free. On the bottom, it's just a channel for free. The only thing you need to do is subscribe to my newsletter, which also gives you a lot of value. People just absolutely love the value that they get on that, and that's completely for free. So go check it out and become part of the community, and we see us in the value channel. And for the next update, very likely it's going to happen what I said, and from there on we can really go into these buys and really squeeze out a lot of profit when we do these corrections, right? So let's get it.